this Tuesday I had a cool project that I think you're going to like, and that is because 2 of the items I got from the dollar store. Dollar store finds are always awesome. So I went to my local Dollar Tree and they had these $1 wire baskets. They're flimsy as all get out, but I found another really cool thing. So I feel like the camera's not going to do justice to what they're like in real life, but it's this. And you might be going, okay, those are like clear marbles, so what? No, you've got to understand, these are like, you know those rocks and pebbles and things you put in vases and put in the bottom of plant things, and they're just kind of like vase fillers? Well, it's that same kind of idea, except perfectly round, and I don't know, they're just so beautiful and appealing, and I'm probably upside down, if you can see through that. Well, that makes it focus, but now okay, see my hands upside down? So cool, right? Anyways, they just feel really good and they're fun to play with. So those are my 2 dollar store items, and basically we're going to use these little marble rock things in the dollar store basket, and with a little bit of help from some ribbon, some rope, some twine, whatever you call the stuff, we're going to turn this dollar store basket into a very cute bathroom or dorm room container. So this will work great in the bathroom because we're going to leave the bottom mesh open so water can drain through, and we're going to incorporate these little marbles in a couple different ways that I think you're going to really like. So all we really need, we need these 3 items and a glue gun, and that's all you're going to need. So I've got my glue gun heating up, so let's get into assembly. Alright, so here we go on this project. I first of all need to find the end of my rope, and I'm going to start the rope going around at the bottom. So very simply, I am going to literally just hot glue the rope onto the basket. So I'm going to put the hot glue first on the rope because the basket's mesh, so if I start doing it on there, it's going to potentially fall through. So I'm just going to put a good bit of hot glue on right here and stick it to the basket. I'm going to wrap it around some more, and just every now and then I'm going to add a little bit of hot glue to help hold the rope in place on my basket. Now don't go too fast, you want to make sure you give your glue enough time to cool down or it will slide and shift and not look as good if you don't give it enough time. So as you work on this, the first round is both the hardest and the most important, because once you get the first round on, then you can start gluing the subsequent rounds kind of to the row before it. But the first one is hard because you're trying to get it to bond really well to the mesh of the wire basket. So just take your time with that first layer, go back and add glue in places as necessary, and you will be able to get this to work. Also, you're going to go through a good bit of glue, so just be prepared for that. Alright, and once I get to the end here, I'm going to start spiraling upward. You can kind of push the first round down some, so that way it really fills in and you don't have too much wire basket sticking through. But it's okay if you have a little bit sticking through. And then I'm just going to keep spiraling around, put some glue on the layer before it, and push it down onto there. Some glue on the layer before it, push it into place. We're going to keep repeating this process, spiraling all the way up to the top of my basket. So here we are, you can see I've gone around a few more rounds, and I'll just give you some pointers as far as working on this project. First of all, don't rush things, just take your time. Also, it helps if you have someone to help you, because you can squeeze glue out and have them hold the spots together until the glue finishes drying, so that way it doesn't shift and pull apart. The next thing I will say is, as far as how much glue to use, is don't be shy with the amount of glue, but make sure you hide it. So don't be shy with it, but make sure you hide it. Because if you end up with a bunch of spots like that where the glue is really obvious, it's just going to look like you took a dollar store basket and glued rope on it. But we don't want that to look like this. So as long as you are careful and hide your glue, it's going to look super cute and I guess like high-end maybe. I don't know if a rope-covered basket ever looks high-end actually, but I think it'll still look really cute. So I'm going to finish wrapping this around until I get to the top, and then I'll show you what I'm doing with it next. as you can see, I've come to just about the top. So I'm going to come, and I'm actually going to come over the top a little bit to create a really nice edge. Now, I took the handle out for now. I do want to be able to have the option to take the handle out or put it back in. So just keep that in mind, that you don't go up too high and end up preventing the handle from going back in. I just wanted to give you an update on here's how mine's looking. I'm going to start coming along the top here. Again, be careful about where you're putting glue so that way it's not super obvious, but make sure you have enough so that way it really holds well. Another tip, if you end up with a big bead of hot glue, just take the tip of your glue gun and rub over it, because the tip of the glue gun is hot enough and it will remelt that section and you can flatten it out. So that's what I was just doing there. Alright, I'm going to cut this edge off right here. And it's better to cut it longer versus shorter as far as how much you think you might need, because you can always trim it some more, but you can't exactly reattach it exactly the way it was before. Also, I cut at an angle to kind of better fit on the top here. Hold it here, watch out for hot glue that you don't get on your fingers. And there we go. Now we have covered the outside of our basket with the rope, and I think this looks super cute. The next thing I'm going to do is, if you look on the inside, you might see some spots where there's really thick chunks of glue. So just to smooth it out and make it look a little better, I'm going to take the tip of my glue gun and just rub over those spots to smooth them out. So I've got a spot right here. I'm just going to rub over it with the tip, and the tip is basically going to melt that glue again, and I'm just going to push it further back in so it's not sticking into the basket as much as it was. Alright, so as you can see, I've reattached my handle here, and I've smoothed out the inside. So now it's time for the fun marbles! So I'm going to start by flipping this whole thing completely over. And I'm going to deal with all these little cobwebby pieces that I've collected down here. Collect glue. And what I am going to do is I'm going to add feet to this basket so that way it's raised up a little bit. So I'm going to do either 4 or 5. I think I'll just do 4. So I'm just once more going to take my hot glue gun, once I know where I want them to go, put it on the little marble, and stick it in place. You want to make sure you have plenty to hold the foot in place. Whoop, that guy went. Alright, so now I have my feet glued on. I'm going to let those sit for just a minute, and then I'm going to flip it over, and we're going to see how well it stands, because I might do a 5th one here in the middle. Alright, here we go. Check it out. Super cool. Also, what I can do is, now that I have it flipped over, I can look from this way and see if I need to add any more glue or anything to get these marbles to stay in place. I'm going to add a little bit more from the bottom side just to really securely hold them. If you want to, you can add a 5th one in the middle to add some extra support. I think I will do that. And now we're done with the glue gun, and it's time to use our basket. One last tip, if you want to prevent your basket from sliding around, you can put a dot of glue on the bottom of each of the marbles just to give it some grip and to keep it from sliding around. So now for the fun part, I'm going to take those leftover marbles and dump them in here. So pretty. And now you can set this in your bathroom, and you can set shampoo or anything in it that might be a little damp, and it can finish draining through here because it's raised up and it's got a mesh bottom so it won't hold water. Or you can use it like I'm going to and use it as a gift basket. I'm going to put some items in there for a friend, and then the friend will be able to also use the basket in their bathroom or in their dorm room or wherever once they get the gift items out. Y'all, look at this. I was trying to film in the afternoon so I could get good daylight, and now the storm's coming through, and it's dark, and it's raining, and it's angry, and actually I have the brightness turned up on my camera. That's what it's actually more like. Kind of nasty out there.